The idea behind the portfolio is that we wanted to represent all of our different estate vineyards. We have 7 different single vineyards within the 650 acres. So all of the brands, of course, are coming from our estate organically farmed vineyards. We're going to talk about, I guess, 3 specific vineyard sites where these come from. And we have 3 separate winemakers for the 3 brands. So where we always want our fruit to shine through because we are the growers, and we want to have little winemaker manipulation, but we wanted the winemakers to all have their own mark, if you will, on each brand. And so that's kind of the idea behind the portfolio. So I want to introduce to you my brother-in-law. This is Jeff Onesco. He married my sister in 2014, and he came over to work for us and become the Elizabeth Rose winemaker in 2015. So I want to say your first vintage was 2016.
Yeah.
And it's only fitting because Elizabeth Rose is named after my older sister. So it's truly a family brand, and we're really excited to have Jeff here. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk about the wine for a minute or two, and then please interject if you have questions. So as you know, this is Napa Valley, and more specifically Yountville. So it's grown in 2 vineyards, which are adjacent to each other, separated by the Yountville Crossroad, the Morganley Vineyard and the Ghost Block Vineyard, or sorry, the Blockhouse Vineyard. So they're right across the street from each other, but they offer differences in flavor profiles and ripening. So I've had the privilege of going from Oakville and Yountville together with a blend to Oakville, Yountville, and Yountville with the blend to now shifting only to Yountville. And I'm so excited because I think that the wine's getting better as we're going closer and closer to these little niche areas that don't get as hot and cool off at night.
I don't know if you are going to allow me to share my screen,
Yeah,
Charles.
sure.
But I can pull up a map that is really helpful, and you can also download it off of our website, but let me share the screen quickly. Hold on.
To what Morgan had said earlier about not manipulating the fruit, you know, that's sort of our paramount ideology, because we don't want to have to fix any mistakes we make, and we don't want to overcorrect something that's not broken. And that's hopefully an expression of what you taste.
So the 2 vineyard sites are right here in Yountville, dissected by the Yountville Crossroad here. So Morganley is about 31 acres, and Sauvignon Blanc actually reigns there. We make a Ghost Block Sauvignon Blanc with the Morganley vineyard, single vineyard designation. But we probably planted, how many acres do you think? 5 acres of Chardonnay in a portion of Morganley. And so it just started producing crop a year ago or 2 years ago.
3 years ago, okay. We just got a little bit, we got a little taste of the nectar, and then I wanted more. It worked.
Yeah.
Because we were growing down here in Lincoln Creek, which has a lot more heat. So,
right, it's in Oakville. So this portion of Lincoln Creek was planted to Chardonnay, but we ripped that up.
Ripped it out.
And so now our Chardonnay is going to be in Yountville. So it's nice that he's able to work with a little bit of a cooler climate for Chardonnay.
Yeah, crisp, clean, no malolactic fermentation, a lot of stuff in stainless steel. And when we left stainless steel, we only went to neutral French oak. And by neutral, I mean 7-year-old barrels. So we're not trying to pick up any oak. We're really trying to integrate the lees and the mouthfeel with the acidity. That's all.
It's really nice. I have to say, I tasted it right before we got in the video, and I thought, ooh, this is
it's a really
perfect
nice,
summer beach
refreshing Chardonnay. And you don't typically use refreshing when you're talking about Chardonnay because it can be heavier. But this is the style that the family has always gravitated towards. We only make 900 cases of this wine every year, so it's not a big production. But it really fits kind of, there is a shift in the consumer wants of Chardonnay. And, there's Chardonnay, there's two different spectrums. And this just falls on the crisp, clean, fruit forward style.
Yeah. It does. And the leaves are coming out in it too, though. It definitely softens it out mid palate, just a little bit, just enough just to not make it, 100% steel Chardonnay. It didn't touch any wood, and it's so crisp and clean. You get those Chardonnays that are out there too, but this is with the wood on it and the leaves on it, sitting on it, and just keep on stirring it. That's really nice. It really adds just a nice softening to it. It's really nice.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Do you guys want me to leave this up, or should I go back to our screen?
Well, real quick, what's the soil types on the Chardonnay? So what are we?
I wish I had my viticulturalist with us.
He was just here.
But, a clay loam is my first guess.
Okay.
So
that's pretty much what we have across the board.
We're not talking about volcanic soils. We're not talking about hillside slopes or anything like that. We're talking about something that holds water. Yeah.
So you don't have any problems in the valley floor with it doesn't seem like the fruit is there, right? It doesn't seem like it's you've had any issues with water where when you go to harvest that the grapes are holding on to anything like that because you're in that valley floor, right? It's coming through. The flavor is coming through, that's for sure.
Yeah, we are able to maintain good areas of drainage.
Okay.
Of course, because we are in this little pocket here, we do get morning fog. And by morning fog, that's even like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. type stuff. And then we'll see mildew. So we need to keep on top of that. And as organic farmers, we don't play with anything funny. So it's just Mother Nature and a little bit of sulfur.
Yeah. Awesome. Dan, Don, how are you guys tasting the wine?
Yeah, no, I found it really nice. Wow, isn't that a great description? What was interesting, because we were playing around here with just different glassware, and we found that when we did it out of the bigger bowl, more the Montrachet style, you really were able to get a lot of the minerality that you couldn't get from a Riesling glass. So, we thought it was, almost Burgundian in its style to a certain extent, but it still had a great, like a bigger mouthfeel. So we were very impressed over here.
Well, thank you.
Very nice. Yeah, I've tasted this wine out of a couple different glasses, but yeah, at my house, we have really big, those Montrachet bowls, wide opening, and it does always taste different. And the minerality, because that's such a term I don't really tend to gravitate towards here in Napa Valley, but.
Exactly. That's what surprised, especially when you're talking about valley floor fruit.
Right.
Yeah. It's good. That was good use of description too, Dan, same by Burgundian style, because it does remind me of more of like a Santa Maria style or Oregon, Willamette Valley type of Chardonnay. It is more of that Burgundian style, really clean, a little bit of leaves on it. It's really nice.
I think the withholding of the MLF on this, made a big difference.
Yeah.
Stylistically, that's where my palate is anyway. So it runs right down the line for me.
Yeah, I would have been afraid of this wine if you did introduce MLF. It would have gone. It would have been over the top, smack you in the head with a 2x4, a butter 2x4.
And I gave her father the option one day just for fun. I was like, let me do one barrel and I'm going to blend it at different ratios and you tell me what you think. And he could tell that every single one of them that I had put lesser and lesser amounts had that ML fermentation, and the one that didn't, and he still liked the one that didn't. And I was like, okay, this is it. It's his, and he knows what he wants.
Yeah, that's nice.
So.
Very nice.
All right.
And I have to say, and a great value too for the fruit you guys have, and what this Chardonnay represents. fantastic. Really.
Well, awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.